Dharma. And yeah, so today we're going to talk about desires, our desires. And yeah, so basically, desires are things that we would like to obtain. It's our cravings. And once we obtain them, we are never satisfied. We always want more and more of them. Yeah, and so it's often compared to the color blue because the ocean is blue, which shows the depth and how bottomless our desires are. Yeah. So if we really understand that, so we come closer to knowing who we are and finding happiness. Yeah, it is often when we are in the dark about who we are that we suffer so much. Yes. Yeah, so first, maybe we want to read from You Were Born for a Reason. So if you open to page 176 to 177, we have a book called You Were Born for a Reason, The Real Purpose of Life by our teacher, Takamori Sensei. And on page 176, so it tells us about the ultimate goal in Buddhism. What are we trying to accomplish? And yeah, so page 176, there is a section called The Path Once Hated Becomes a Delight. So do we have a volunteer to read this part? Okay, Patty.
How is it possible to enjoy perfect freedom in a world filled with constraints? It is difficult to explain in terms that everyone can understand, but perhaps the following story will give some idea. A young boy took a path over a mountain every day on his way to and from school. On days when he stayed late for some after school activity, the mountain would be scarily dark on his way home. In summer, the sun burned fiercely hot, and in winter he was often forced to crouch down amid the howling winds of a blizzard. Rain turned the hilly path to a cataract. Filled with resentment, the boy would frequently mutter to himself, "If only the school were closer. If only this mountain were here." Then one day, a pretty little girl transferred to school. As it turned out, she was from his village. The two of them would walk to and from school together, chatting about how far away it was and how deserted the mountain. In no time, they were fast friends. On their way home one afternoon, a sudden cloudburst hit them. The rain showed no sign of letting up. Between them, they had only one umbrella, the little girl's. Finding himself cozily sharing an umbrella with her, the boy prayed silently all the way home. Don't let the rain stop. Let the mountain be more deserted. Let the village be farther away. The things that had previously tormented him, the great length, difficulty, and isolation of the mountain path, had not changed, and yet they no longer gave him concern. Once obstacles to the boy's pleasure, they now became part and parcel of it. Everyone has probably had a similar experience at one time or another.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patty. So yeah, I think it's beautiful. Yeah. So nothing changes in the environment or your surroundings, but the mind changes. So that's the ultimate goal in Buddhism, to have our mind to undergo this transformation. So yeah, everything that was causing the little boy pain and suffering actually became the source of his joy and happiness. Yeah. So of course this is beyond our imagination. That's why it is the goal of Buddhism, the ultimate goal. And yeah, so in order to experience that, we have to understand the mind, which is filled with desire. Yeah. Do you have such an experience when you hated something and then it kind of became the source of your joy. Yeah. You want to share?
Just recently, because I've been trying to fix my house and I've been working on my yard. It's a lot of hard work in the hot sun and having to dig things up um, but in my mind I think of it as great exercise. So, not only am I trying to clean up, but it's also adding to my exercise. So that's how I appreciate doing it. And, in the end, it'll pay off. So that's how I see it. That even though it's hard and backbreaking and hot, I look at it as positive.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so there are many examples like that in everybody's life. So if you just look at it as suffering, then it becomes suffering. But if you see the meaning in it or some purpose, then the suffering can become the source of joy. Yeah, so you say you can look at it as a source of exercise. Yeah, I don't know how people can go to the gym and just exercise. That's kind of difficult for me. But some people, yeah, I read an article when I was in Japan. Many people felt the same way. So there was a guy who created like a bicycle. So because the bicycle was not moving, it was like stationary. But then by cycling, he could generate a lot of electricity. And then he was storing the electricity, and then he would feel more fulfillment. Yeah. So the more we can kind of uh, get meaning out of it or benefit, then the better. And also, if electricity benefits a lot more people, so you feel more fulfilled too. Yeah. So in this case, yeah, the little boy, he really hated the mountain because, I mean, just let's face it, who wants to go hike? Sometimes we go to Temescal Canyon for hikes, and it's almost 1 hour to get to the top and then 1 hour to come down. And I've taken several friends, and almost every time halfway they're like, "Oh, Vita, I'm tired. Let's go back," even though it's quite a drive to Sunset Boulevard. So yeah, and at nighttime it's gonna be scarily dark when he was going home. So the darkness factor too, it makes us dislike the activity even more. And if there is a storm or rain and all that, then it's yeah. I mean we can turn on air conditioning condition. No, and yeah. hmm So naturally, the boy keeps complaining, if only the destination was closer to me, if only the weather was better, if only it was not raining. So, because, he's suffering from solitude and he thinks he's the only one. But then there is a little pretty girl who transfers to his school, and she also happens to be going to the same destination, same school. So when they have to go through the mountain together, then all the pain and hardships that used to be cause of suffering for the little boy now becomes the source of joy because he doesn't feel alone anymore. And actually, he now wishes the distance to the school becomes further. But once they arrive, they have to park. So he doesn't mind the hard, hike up the mountain and all that anymore. Everything changes. And he even wishes for the rain to come down harder because then he can snuggle closer to the girl. Yeah. So there is such an experience, for us when the obstacles we have in life they become the source of our joy. And actually, this is known in Buddhism as yeah. So suffering turns to joy. So also passion, worldly passion, turn to joy. So that's why it is so important for us to understand what these worldly passions are. And Shakyamuni teaches us that each one of us is made of, do you remember how many worldly passions? Yeah, very good. 108. So in Japan, they strike the temple bell, 108 times on New Year's Eve, hoping that in the new year we don't have to be troubled and tormented by these worldly passions as much as we were in the previous year. But since they do that, Japanese do that every year, so that's the proof the worldly passions don't go anywhere. They're still there. So just by striking the bell, nothing changes. We need to work on our emotions, our passions. Buddhism encourages us to face them, gain awareness of them. So this is the goal here. And so this is the path we have to go through. So there is a process we have to go through, or a path. Yeah, like everything else. So if there is a goal, then there must be a path or a process to get there. So today our goal was to meet here, and same goal, but we all went through different directions, routes, and then we arrived at this point. So the path to experience wonderful happiness that is taught in Buddhism is to look at oneself, face our mind. And so some aspect of the mind is that we have a lot of desires, cravings, yeah, that trouble and torment us. Yeah. So, and Buddha teaches that there are actually 5 desires everybody has, all people without any exception. Do you know what the 5 desires are? Yes. Desire for food, sleep, yeah, and the order is like this. Yeah, sleep. Yes, pain. Yeah, exactly. So you need money. This is like lust or yeah, sexual desires. Desire to have a partner. Yeah, so these are the 5 desires that Buddha teaches everybody has without any exception. So yeah, food comes first, because we're always hungry. We wake up. Yeah, especially these days. I was telling Rocio, I'm kind of a diet, not the seafood diet, not the seafood diet. Yeah. That's the seafood diet. Whatever you see, you're gonna eat. Yeah, there was a time when I was like that. Now my cravings for food are more under control. As you get older, I think you eat less. It's one of the good things about aging, I feel. Doesn't happen. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, you eat less as you get older. Yeah, maybe you still feel young, biologically and mentally. But yeah, so we have this desire for food. So sometimes I skip dinner. If I eat a good lunch, I skip my dinner. And actually, it's the best way to lose. Yeah, it takes a long time, but it's kind of you start losing weight steadily. So I like it. But the thing is, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing crosses your mind, you have to eat some food. You really need that energy. Yeah. So yeah, I get some fruits or something just to get the blood sugar a little high, and then start cleaning and go about your everyday work. Yeah, so that's desire for food. And yeah, then if you don't have money, you cannot buy the food. So we have desire for money. It's not only money, so it's also possession. Same thing. Material things, you know, like so. Even the homeless have this desire. Because people tell me the homeless don't pursue money, obviously. They prefer to be free. But they have a lot of possessions. They collect a lot of stuff. And they have the cart. And yeah, so their desires are not less. or more than anyone else. Same. The intensity of desire of the five might vary from person to person, but every person has these five desires. So because of desire for money, we go to work every morning, even though sometimes we don't want to, or we call the boss. Oh, I have food poisoning. I'm gonna go a little bit late today. But you have to go, otherwise you might not get the income, right? Even though you guys have a lot of vacation days too, or sick days. But still, we want to go because it causes inconvenience to the other coworkers. So, desire for money. Yeah. Actually, when we wake up, maybe this is very strong desire for sleep. So, they say, do you know the average amount of sleep anyone needs every night? At least 5 hours. They say average hours of sleep everyone needs is always 5 minutes more. No, if you sleep 5 hours, some people sleep 6 hours, 7 hours, but when you wake up, you always know it's 5 minutes more. And even though you hit the snooze, 5 minutes pass like this. And then you want another 5 minutes. Yeah, it's very strong. And the older we get, maybe this becomes very stronger because we get tired and many distractions and stuff. Yeah, it's not only sleep, like when you close your eyes, it's also rest or relaxation. They're all the same. So, yeah, sometimes, you just don't want to do anything, right? You just want to, become a couch potato. That's desire for sleep. So everybody has that. But if we don't fight against it, then we cannot fulfill desire for money or desire for food. Yeah, we were talking about how we don't like to cook. That's me, because we have desire for food, but maybe because we are lacking rest or relaxation, so we don't want to do the cooking. So it's always like compromising one for the other. And then, so you eat your food and you go to work. And on the way to work, so if you see someone looks handsome, so you have, oh, nice guy. Now many people might be happy and Joey and Brad Pitt are splitting up. Yeah, one of the hottest Hollywood stars becomes available again. So, this becomes stimulated. They think, oh, maybe I have a chance. Who knows? It never hurts to ask. So it's because we have the desire for, companionship and yeah. And then so desire for fame. So fame is not just for celebrities, right? Like we have desire for fame too. Do you know how? Friends. Yeah, recognition. Yeah. Fame also is recognition or respect. So, for example, how do you pursue this every day? Do you have awareness of it? So then, yeah, expensive cars. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, exactly. It falls here because you want to show off, right? You want to brag. What was that word? Braggadocious. Donald Trump used a sophisticated word with brag. I'm not braggadocious. Braggadocious. Yeah, it is a word. Yeah, yeah. Some people, all they do is like bragging about what they have, stuff like that. So that's they have strong desire for fame. They need attention. They have to be in the high spotlight. Some people. So for some people, this is very strong. Yeah, and we were just talking about like, yeah, like someone like Donald Trump. He's a billionaire. He has so much wealth already, and Hillary Clinton too. She's been like a politician for so many years. Some people were discussing why do they have this desire to run for, you know, presidency. What do you think? They already have experienced so much in life. Why can't they enjoy a quiet life? Recognition, exactly. So once you have a lot of money, it's not fun. Even if you have money, if no one shows the respect or attention that you want, then it's not fun. So because of very strong desire for recognition and fame and power also falls here. So they endure all these hardships that's kind of beyond our imagination, and accusing each other or attacking and even risking their life. Because there was a senator in Arizona who got shot once, the female senator. Yeah, Gifford. Her husband is an astronaut. Yeah, so it is kind of life risking too to have so much fame and power. And yeah, so basically these are the five desires everybody had. Now the problem is, we are troubled and tormented because of these desires. And so because of these, actually we commit a lot of bad deeds. Like, do you have any examples? Like, desire for food. So we have a lot of animals slaughtered for us. In Buddhism, killing is a bad deed. In some other religions, they believe animals were created for us, so it's okay to eat them. In Buddhism, all they have the same root. In this life, we happen to have the form of it, but we don't know about next life. So, in that sense, a cow or a chicken and us and any other life form, have same value of life. And to take that life by force away from them, that's a bad deed. It is taught in Buddhism. And so we commit a lot of bad deeds because of that. But even if you become vegetarian, like you eat the cabbage, for example, so there are many tiny insects, like watermelon or watermelon. So there are many bugs that live on the plants, and when we harvest them, or sometimes they spray so much insecticide too. So still we kill a lot of bugs. So the point of this is not that we have to, become vegetarian necessarily. If we can, that's a good deed. But we have to have awareness that to maintain our life, we commit a lot of bad deeds unknowingly, and bad deeds bring us a lot of bad effects and suffering. For desire for money too, right? I mean, we create a lot of bad deeds, especially like maybe for investments or people who want to make big profit, huge profit. Uh, Someone was talking about the Jewish guy. He has a big business. Who's Madoff? No, I just heard on radio, but I forgot. So he collected a lot of money from other people, and then maybe he declared bankruptcy or something. Can you imagine all these people? They lost their assets. So that's a very, very bad thing. And yeah, actually, this happened to my own family too in Iran. They have these companies in the past, especially. They claim that if you invest in their company, they give you 20% interest return. It's a very good deal. It sounds like it. So many people bought like, thousands of dollars and invested. And the first month they got back like $1,000. They were like, wow, this is easy money. They invested maybe, I don't know, many thousands of dollars. And then second month they got a lot of money, third month, fourth month. And then in half a year, suddenly the company disappears. Probably they moved to Europe or somewhere and they took all the money back bank. There are some loopholes. Yeah, here it wasn't it Bernie. Was it Bernie Madoff? Yeah, something I've heard just a little bit. So
So
because
because of
of desire
desire
for
for
money,
money,
sometimes
sometimes
we
we
are
are
willing to
willing to
deceive
deceive
others
others
in
in
order
order
to
to
fulfill this
fulfill this
desire.
desire.
That's why
That's why
Buddha
Buddha
says it's
says it's
very
very
dreadful
dreadful
to
to
be
be
very
very, very
dreadful.
dreadful.
And so we do this right now. Or desire for, companionship. Some people think as we get older, this becomes weaker. But if you go to the nursing homes, sometimes two elderly men, they get into a fight over the same woman, triangular relationship, so they fight and sometimes they hurt the other man. As we get older, it becomes more difficult to get what we want, so sometimes frustration might, uh, explode. And desire for fame. So, like many years ago, the figure skaters, Tanya Harding. Yeah, do you remember what happened?
Her competitor,
Oh, yeah.
what did she do? She hurt her, right?
Yeah, she asked someone to
Oh yeah, that's right.
hit her
Her
leg.
right.
She was kind of injured. So
Yeah.
if you want to be the champion figure skater and you have a very strong rival, so this desire to be the number one is so strong that sometimes people go out of their way, hire someone to injure the rival so they become the top. For the actually, I have the example. The was an astronaut, yeah, whose husband kind of maybe left her or before they got divorced. So the husband was having an affair with another woman, and this astronaut, female astronaut, she knew that the other woman is landing by airplane at Orlando Airport, so she drove from Texas, Houston, all the way to Orlando, and without taking any break, just to make sure she could catch up with her. And then she tried to hurt her, but yeah, and it was such a big news. Mm. Yes. So now we would like to discuss if these things are only about other people or do we get troubled and tormented ourselves too in everyday life. So let's spend about 10 minutes talking and then we can have a break discussion. So yeah, we have one group today because we're a small group to just turn the so we're talking about desires, troubling and tormenting us.
Yeah, I think there's also a good side to it because actually I kind of want to put it in a sense. So I think that also desire can be kind of a positive thing. I mean, like pleasure itself. It's kind of it can be good or it helps us in a sense. So it's not only that it's bad. I understand that it does trouble us most of the time, but I think that also pleasure is kind of a practice, like self-care, self-love kind of thing. And that I don't want to say just kind of because that's just kind of superficial, but um, sometimes to be completely selfless and desireless, is that the goal? Or, I'm saying it's like, you know, um, sometimes pleasure is like what is your life.
Right, right. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, imagine if there was no delicious food to eat. We work very hard.
Why were we born with this? Why is it so fundamental? I mean, lust creates life, right? That's creation, that's energy creation. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to do that, to just say, well, I guess desire is what is stuff.
Yeah, so pure Brahmanism is a little different how we consider the root cause of suffering. Because desires don't go anywhere. So like to answer your first question, it's not the goal to become desireless or selfless. That's not the goal. The goal is to have desires or other passions become the source of joy instead of the source of trouble and torment as they are usually. That's the goal. They don't go anywhere. They're always there. But they can transform. This kind of the truth is this, that even we have desires, so but since the mind is different, so like the example, so even if the same, we still have a desire because uh, we cannot stop desire. We are always, even with the because it's a body that always has desire. We desire food, desire for food. So we know from the schedule of this life, desire is part of us. So unless we pass away, so then we will not anymore desire. That's part of become nothing. We cannot anymore want and we cannot anymore we keep desire. But in mind, how how uh, we show how we show how we think we desire with the good for everybody. To change mind. This is how we all happen and to charge people because we don't need to keep the desire under there is no desire is still there. We're gonna have desire we don't get it. Make one of the discussion about because there are some Buddhist teachers or gurus who say, yeah, right, that they say root cause of your suffering is desire. In pure Buddhism, it's not because, like she's saying, we are made of desires. So if the root cause of suffering is desire, you have to eliminate desires to become happy. But to eliminate desire, then we have to die. Oh, that's not the case. It's a misconception. Yeah. Yeah. Or they say no attachment. Attachment is one of the passions. Yeah, attachment. So there's widely spread misconception that Buddhism they think means no attachment. No attachment means if I yeah, yeah, so much. I mean we do suffer a lot because of attachment. Sometimes we feel, oh, if only I didn't have so much attachment, like okay, someone stole my watch. Okay, it's okay. But we keep dwelling on it, right? Oh, that watch meant so much to me. You know, this person bought it for me. I have so many memories. So we suffer because of our attachment. So we can see why there is a misconception. I think there's another Buddhist. Yeah, so through listening, this process, the goal of Buddhism, passions become the source of joy. So now you might be puzzled, how can that happen? You know, but it's through listening and then practicing Buddhism. So now you're listening, working on your mind. That's really important. And the example they give us is like a persimmon. You know persimmon? Yeah. Yeah, in Japan they have it. And there are two types we were talking about earlier. One type is horrible. If you take a bite, it's astringent, it makes your mouth like all horrible, bitter. So especially that one. Like astringent, your mouth, even you drink water, it doesn't go away. Yeah, it doesn't go away. Yeah, yeah, it's a horrible one. Yeah, yeah. And that's an analogy for our worldly passion. Before we reach that vertical line, the goal of the system, we're always troubled and tormented. But if you listen to Buddhism, it's like you receive a lot of light. It's like the perfume receives a lot of sunlight. So the sunlight makes those bitter substances within perfume transform into sweetness. No one removes the bitterness out and injects sugar into the perfume. The bitter substance as it is, without any change in quantity or quality, it just transforms into sweetness thanks to the power of light, sunlight. Similarly, thanks to the power of Buddhism, the light, there is also a light in Buddhism too, that works on our mind and transforms all these body patterns, they become the source of truth. Yeah, criticism, then we know how to practice. Yeah, so let's make on. There's more information about this. Yeah, transform. That's how mind is coming from. Zero, that is that we have to work. Everything. And it is like, so we have to work in the work. Self-examine that. Self-reflect. We're going about how to work with that one. And our mind gets cultivated by doing self-reflection. So like coming here, we are made to think, you know. When we don't come here and we suffer, we keep blame other people. We point fingers. And when we blame other people, we suffer more. But by coming here and listening and self-reflection, we try to find the cause of suffering within our mind. And whoever looks inward, then their mind gets cultivated, like this field or soil gets cultivated, becomes more and more ready for good harvest. This is the process. Let's have a break for 10 minutes. And then after the break, we talk about how we can have, yeah, desires can be very positive if they're channeled in the right way. So we will read some stories about how desires, yeah, if they're channeled properly, they are very important. Okay, let's have a break.